Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I'm gonna try to draw this reference photo. But before, I wanna apologize for not uploading. Yesterday and like 2 days ago, was really busy trying to practice on figure drawing. I've been practicing a lot of structure and figure poses. I really wanna improve I wanna expand my skills. So perhaps by the end of January or February, maybe I'll be able to draw figures correctly. I also want to draw some landscapes. Anyway, so today we're gonna draw a portrait as usual. I really want to start making some figure drawing studies, but for the time being, I'm trying to practice. Let's go ahead. As usual, I want to start with the Loomis cranium. Okay, so now let's go ahead and chop off the side of the cranium. So now we have the cranium. Let's go ahead and establish the thirds of the face and the tilt of the head. So this is the brow line. The hairline here, the bottom of the nose probably around here. And because of foreshortening, you can see that the bottom third is way larger than the rest of the thirds because of foreshortening. But don't make the difference too obvious. So now we connect the head to the chin, or the jawline to the chin, and we draw the other side. Now we have our head. Let's just attach the, let me adjust this. So we can see the bottom of the chin because we are looking at the head from down, from the bottom. So let's add the bottom of the chin and attach the neck to it. The ear is gonna sit here and it goes backwards. So kind of this shape. And we have the side of the cheek area. So now let's attach the back of the neck and draw the muscles. And here we have some muscles of the head, of the neck, and the wrinkles here, the skin, and the shoulder. We have the collarbone on the other side, the neck. So let me just adjust it. And you see, when I told you I was practicing on how to draw the figures, because I'm not really good at drawing the body. I've been practicing so much really focused so much on the head that I forgot about how to draw figures, the body. So we should not neglect none of this. Either it is the head or the body or the legs. Have to draw everything. Let's go back to our head. Okay, so let's come here. We draw the shape of the eye socket and the cheekbone. So before that, we have to adjust the forehead. So let's take into consideration the perspective of the face and how it affects the plane of the nose, the planes of the nose, and also the eye socket. So these two lines, they follow the same, they converge to the same vanishing points, all of these lines. So to keep things in perspective and your head in perspective, sometimes you need to draw these guidelines. So now we have the eye socket here, and the cheekbone comes forward like somewhere here. And if you take your pencil and try to measure that from the right hand side eyebrow and the cheekbone, you can see that the cheekbone is slightly in front of the eyebrow, and that is a perspective issue. So because of perspective, you see some planes, they overlap others, or some forms. So now before we start adding details, let's establish the mouth area. And as well, the mouth follow the same line, the same perspective. So I want to start with the top lip. I feel like it's right about here, and the line of the mouth probably somewhere here, and the bottom of the lip. So it's all about estimation. I'm not sure 100% about their placement, but I kind of try to use my observation to kind of place things where they should be. But the most important part is to keep things in perspective. This is a pretty straight line, a horizontal line for the mouth area. And the bottom of the lip and the underside of the lip. So I think that is correct. So here the nose, let's see how wide the nose should be. The forehead has a pretty rounded forehead at the top, and the hairline goes the other way and comes downward right about the side of the cranium, and it goes down completely to the bottom, to the top of the ear, kind of like this. And we can see a small portion of that hair around here. Doing a quick sketch of the hair, outlining the shape of the hair. So there is a big portion of the hair at the back of the head. So yeah, I think I'm gonna just keep it this way. And now we can go ahead and erase some of the guidelines we don't need anymore. So if you want to do that correctly, observe the angle of the nose, especially the bridge of the nose. Just use your pencil to double check the nose line. So double check the nose line, and usually the far side cheekbone and the nose, they have the same angle. and look at the distance between the nose and the cheekbone area, and look how wide it is, just to help you, place things in proportion. So after I draw that line, I'm gonna come here and just draw the bottom plane of the nose. Also take into consideration the far side wing of the nose, just like this. So I don't draw the details at this stage. I'm just gonna go ahead and add more shapes to my portrait. I drew 2 lines to establish the placement of the eyes. So before that, I'm gonna use my pencil to check the angle and see how extreme that angle is. And usually the 3/4 pose from this type of angles, the eyes are really tilted in a very extreme manner. So now I use the side of the nose to establish the first eye. And the second eye is gonna be smaller than this one because of foreshortening. Now we come here and add the eyebrows. So the eyebrows, they sit on top of the brow line. Observe the shape of individual eyebrows, like depending on the head type and the gender, the eyebrows might change the shape. Now I'm gonna just try to see distance between the gap between the brow line and the eyelids. So from the top eyelid, I want to observe that gap and see how wide it is. I feel like I need to bring the eyes slightly downward, somewhere here. Let's go ahead and now let's go and draw. And I'm just gonna draw some lines. I'm gonna use this one eye here and draw the other eye. And also observe the individual shapes of each eyelid, because this one has a different angle than this one, because it's wrapping around, the form has changed, it's wrapping around the eyeball. It might not look like the reference photo at this stage, but if you are certain about your proportions, then you don't have to worry too much about the likeness, because we have only established the nose and the eyes, so we haven't drawn everything. To keep things in proportion, better to draw the center line of the face to make sure that your features are aligned correctly. So before that, let me just come here and just draw the shape of that cheekbone, the top lip. So let me just bring the mouth slightly upward. So we have this shape here, and we have the top lip, and her mouth is slightly open. So I'm gonna open it a bit, not that much. Okay, so I'm gonna open up the mouth slightly, kind of like this. Make sure the line of the mouth is correct, like the lips are not opening from the bottom. I should just add some structure, some planes around the mouth, around the lip. Okay, not bad. Anyway, let me just draw the bottom lip and the bottom plane. For the bottom lip, I prefer to draw just one line at the beginning, and then later on, when I get comfortable with the placement of the overall shape of the head and start adding the details, I go ahead and just complete the shape. Let's come here and try to adjust things. So I'm gonna use this lip and double check my measurement. And for the ear, yeah, so the ears are not in the right position, so I'm gonna bring it slightly up. I'm gonna use also the side of, I'm gonna use the brow lines to place in the ears correctly. So I feel like they're right about here. And if I take my pencil from the eyes, the ears are gonna be somewhere here. This is much better. So I'm gonna draw just simple shapes. Okay. All right. So we can also erase some lines. Now I want to draw the back of the cheekbone from the zygomatic arch. So this is the bottom plane of the jaw, of the chin, or the jaw or the neck, I don't know. Alright, so let's come back here to the cheekbone area. So we draw the plane of the zygomatic arch, then the plane of the jaw area, and then the plane for the mouth. So this one, this one that connects to the eyes. So I might be wrong, I don't know, I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure if that is absolutely correct. I don't know, but it really helps me when it comes to shading. It really helps me shade correctly. Let me adjust and add more details around the hair. And I'm too bored to draw every shape of the hair, like to draw pretty realistic hair. It's kind of boring to spend a lot of time drawing the hair. So now maybe I should just map out the shadows. Yeah, some shadow mapping. This is a cast shadow. We have a cast shadow here as well, or a drop shadow. Maybe I should start shading, let me see, the neck and the underside of the chin. But before you start shading, make sure that your proportion is correct. So you have to double check. Don't go too quick and start adding shading. Although this is what I'm doing right now, I didn't double check my measurements. It's a huge mistake to do so. So I highly recommend you go ahead and double check your measurements. Take your time. Make sure everything is okay, everything is good before you jump into details. So I'm gonna come here and add more structure to the eyes. I don't even see anything. And the bottom eyelid is thinner. It's really thin. So I'm gonna shade it and see where I am. also here the eyebrows are pretty dark, thin eyebrows as well. And underneath the eyebrows have some dark values. I have to adjust everything later on. Well, let's come here and see. Okay, not that bad, not that bad. Let's come here, the underside of the nose and the nostril. Let me shade the bottom plane like this, and the underside of the wings. So the skin tone is pretty dark, therefore I have to, everything has to be darker than usual, which I hate most of the time. I hate to go really dark. And by the way, I'm using a 4B pencil. I'm using a 4B pencil, which is dark, really. It's really dark. You can create a lot of dark values with it. You can start sketching with it and also draw details with the same pencil. So it's really great. I'm gonna just erase it and make the lips bigger. Actually, it is bigger and almost touches the far side corner of the face. We have some very smooth core shadow here. Around the cheekbone area. So this is going to be the bottom plane of the cheekbone, or the side plane, and here the top plane. Around the forehead. I don't know, maybe I'm going too dark, maybe I'm going too light. I don't have any scale to compare my values. And here for the bottom of the nose, we have some core shadow. It's not really too dark, but it's visible, so we're gonna use that and help us bring the 3D of the drawing. We have some highlight here, midtones here, and it gets darker. And here as well. So let me shade the hair too dark. I'm using one volume, only one volume. Obviously the hair doesn't look like this, but I'm trying to simplify things, which makes it even worse. All of this is in the dark. The shoulder, dark values as well. I'm not gonna shade the body. It's not my main concern. So I'm gonna come here. I totally forgot the ears. Let me come here and just add some dark values. Let me go darker again. I can see some highlights around dark values, like here. So the light source comes from up. Here, have highlights here around the cheek, the bottom of the nose, around the chin. Or maybe I should switch to my mechanical pencil. Pentel Graph Gear. The lips tend to be dark naturally because of the skin tone, the reddish color of the lips. So when you shade in gray, it's better you add more dark values. I'm not gonna focus on the hair. I really don't want to draw the hair. So I don't want to torture myself. We have some midtones here. We have shadows. I actually did not notice this shadow here. I'm gonna draw over the highlight and add dark values alongside this area here. I'm gonna blend it with my finger, because usually I don't like blending too much. Let me just try to blend it here. And the corners of the lips here as well, around the jaw area. And this drop shadow is gonna be dark, and here as well. Here, here, here. Yeah, Okay guys, I'm gonna stop here. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've learned something, especially in the proportion. I hope you've learned something from this. I don't know if you've learned something from, the shading. I don't know, because I did not shade this correctly. But for the proportion, I hope the Loomis method, if you practice enough, you can learn a lot of things from it. If you want to watch extended versions of my videos, check me out on Patreon. I upload weekly tutorials and monthly video demos as well. I'm really thankful for my Patreons for making all of this happen, because it's really helpful when you see people that are really willing to support you. It's really helpful and gives a lot of motivation. So thanks so much guys, I really appreciate. And if you like the video, please give it a like. The algorithm likes I don't know if it makes sense. The algorithm likes and comment below your thoughts, and see you in the next video. Bye.